and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. This is David Steele and here's my truck, and yes, she's back. The Mack R is now back in the game, and it was only absent for a few days. I was being massively dramatic that it was missing. This happens with lots of all of the recent updates, as I recall. The FLB and the Mack R are temporarily unavailable as the author just checks it's going to work with the new game, and I applaud that. I just like to be dramatic about stuff. Well, today's trip is going to be a run in the Mack R. That should be obvious so far. What may not be obvious is under the skin we're running a Thermodyne engine. That's the older engine, one of the oldest available in the Steel Productions engine pack. Yes, a shameless plug. It's a 225 horsepower engine, 653 foot-pounds of torque. Yes, count them all, ladies and gentlemen. 653. So this is a low-powered truck. We're using the 12-speed direct drive transmission that comes with the Mack R. That may be a little newer and may not be entirely in character with this engine, but the reason why I'm using that is I've been playing around and tweaking some of the shift points for the engines. Because they will whipsaw, and by whipsaw you'll move off, you'll go from, let's say, second gear to fourth, and it'll immediately downshift back to second or maybe third, and then you accelerate, it goes back to fourth or fifth, and then jumps down a gear. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. So I'm trying to tune that out a bit. But I'm also trying to keep my progressive shifting pattern and how that works. And it's being a bit of a trouble, shall we say. So we have a short wheelbase Mack R here with a 225 horsepower engine and wonderfully short gearing. Not the shortest, but still short. So let's see how well this works. So we're just about to collect a cargo. We're hauling just 18,500 pounds on my own trailer. There we go. Yeah. It's 1.5, it's in the rain, so performance is another issue. Let's see how long this takes to load. So from 728, not very long at all. So I've got some cable reels on the back, they're nicely tied down. Thanks so much. I'm gonna go ahead and get the engine started. Got a Z-Mod sound today. I put the Z-Mod sound to my Thermodyne. Yes, I know it's not accurate, but I like the Z-Mod sounds. Right, I suppose we should get our lights on because it's raining. And let's head out. Oh, and did I mention we're starting in San Francisco and we're just taking a run up north. Right, so let's see how this thing goes. I'm going to be quiet for parts of this trip so we can enjoy the sound. Just my expectations, I think it's going to struggle with the game engine's going to struggle keeping things smooth. I also suspect that the engine is going to be a little compromised. We just changed that engine definition, so it takes a little time to get itself calibrated. Let's see, so far, and I'm being real gentle with the throttle. I kind of expect this behavior at first. It's just after we've climbed and moved around some of the San Francisco scenery. And I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, there are some pretty good looking hills. They're fairly steep. Right, well, I'm going to be quiet for a little bit, and we're just going to drive around San Francisco. Let's tell everyone where we're going. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Go straight.
Abrahams didn't need to be quite so excessive with the horn there, but there we go.
Get ready to turn left.
Well, first observation to make here is if you're going to buy a used Mack R, try not to get one that's spent time in California, because some of these hills are steep, very steep, and of course my engine's cold. I switched to my oil and water temperature gauge. Now this thing's all over the place. The frame rate is all over the place too. Well, that's okay. I expected the frame rate to be a little compromised, and I wasn't wrong.
Go straight.
But doesn't the city look beautiful? And it doesn't work so well when you're moving, but it is very, very pretty. I've barely explored it, barely scratched the surface. It does have a big city feel, and I like that. You can see the bridge in the distance. Right, let's move off. So first to third. Okay. The tweak I made has certainly improved it. Although, I should also say that having weight on the trailer has improved it too. And there goes my low fuel warning light. I really should have checked that before I started the trip, and I suppose the video too. It's an interesting sound. Now, I'm going to need motion lotion. But first things first, let's get out of San Francisco. There must be a fuel stop on the way. Well, I'm saying there must be. I hope there is. We have a 140 gallon tank in this machine, and I think it said 22 gallons left. Let's check. I'm at full power, by the way, right now, and it's not accelerating up this what doesn't seem like a massive hill. Got a photo opportunity coming up on the right, but I'm not going to take that today. Let's just stay in this lane, I think. Okay. Good. Well, we get to go over the bridge. I'm happy about that. We may not even run out of diesel on the bridge as well. I'm also happy about. It's really struggling to hold this load. That's kind of what I expected. Like I say, it's the lowest powered engine I've got in the engine pack right now. And yeah, we feel it. So giving it full power, throwing fuel out the back, and we're not going very fast. Slowly accelerating. That is pretty though. Hey, we upshifted. Or shifted up. Still throwing fuel out the back. We'll almost be at 40, there we go, 40 miles an hour. Right, let's set my cruise at 45. And we're now in top gear. Okay. So, perhaps I can adjust this to be a little less short shifty. But it's still not exactly a rapid machine, but, you know, I didn't buy it to be rapid. I bought it because I like old Macks. And I also like boats. Whoa. Good grief. Can't drive very well in that view. That's better. Somehow. I also don't like buses, and there's one right next to me. But he should accelerate now. The limit's gone up to 55. Right, well, I suppose we need to think about getting some fuel at some point. And by some point, I mean as soon as we can. I don't know whether I really want to push this thing up to 55. It's about 1800 revs. I guess we'll go with 50. I'm already struggling to control it right now. In the left-hand lane, there's a Prius coming up the middle lane. Maybe we need to go Prius hunting. Hoping for the frame rate to smooth down just a little bit, but we're now doing 55 thanks to a hill, so no complaints there. I guess we'll keep it 55. What's my fuel like? Well, it's still showing about an eighth of a tank, so it's probably down to 15 gallons. 100 miles of range, it reckons. 75 miles. Well, in theory, I can do it. So you know what? We're going to play the Gaslight game. Yes, I know it's a diesel. This is my good lady wife's favourite game in the whole wide world. It really isn't. But I think it's maybe her least favourite game. Now, I reckon this is probably advanced level because we're now 91 miles and 67. Well, you know, it's kind of going down with parity. I don't really want to slow down to try to extend my range, but I might. So I also don't want to run out of fuel. Let's give this tanker some space. I mean, he's got plenty of fuel, right? But we've no idea what that is unless we can see it read on the side. He's a chemical tanker, so that could be anything. Last 10 gallons. Gas game's exciting. The idea here is that you get to your destination or the fuel station you're aiming for before you run out of fuel. I think technically you have to get there under your own power, so if you run out of fuel a mile away and you're able to just coast into it, that kind of counts. Good grief, this fuel tanker's picking up speed, right? I'm going to just ease off. I'm not going to try and race this guy. I've got no chance of beating him. I've probably got half his power. Let's tuck in behind him. So we're out of the city now, heading north, and the frame rate has smoothed down a little bit, but it's still janky. Janky. It's not very consistent. Now the game is pretty, but it's working this machine hard. It's working a single core and my processor pretty hard. My GPU does not appear to be working all that hard. So quick glance at my statistics. What's called the CPU utility is showing us 32%, but the CPU use is about 5%. So basically one core is fully loaded and everything else is not doing much. GPU wise, that looks like under 40%, just under 40%. There's no work in the graphics card very hard. It's the CPU doing all the work, all the calculations appear to be going on pretty much one core. Theoretically, background tasks won't make a difference, although if there's contingency for memory, in other words, if the RAM is being shared between different applications, that might make a difference. So, take a look at my I/O delta. Yep, American Truck Simulator is gobbling up lots of bandwidth. OBS is using up a little bit. We expect that because we're recording this. Other than that, there's really not that much going on. Windows Task Manager's on that list. Okay. I've got a signal left here. Need to merge behind this truck. Yeah, it was a Peterbilt, wasn't it? 45 still feels like an adventure. 6 gallons, 50 miles. What are we at? 23 miles. I've got... This is easy. Got 25 miles in the bag. It'd almost certainly keep up with the flow of traffic. Well, I mean, power excluding, because I don't have the power to be able to do that right. 35 limit, so put the cruise down to 30. We'll use the engine brake here. Pretty effective engine brake. Yep, and I managed to hit that doing 30. Now, is there a fuel station here? Yes, but it's closed. That is a shame. It's a big shame. Coming up to anything? No, but there's one right around the corner. Okay.
Go straight.
Well, I'm going to hide that temperature, that fuel capacity, because there's nowhere I can go between here and there, so I've got to make what's in the tank last. And the needle is now just bouncing off the red, so let's pick up some speed. My cruise back up to 45. I'll let the engine transmission work out what they're doing. It's in top gear at less than 40. Oh yeah, we're right around the corner. We're completely fine. Yeah, how many times have I said we're completely fine and we're not? Still, I accidentally cancelled cruise control. Cough. I'm just gonna let cruise bring us in. I think, or it's gonna coast in. Mileage for this trip was not very good. At showing us 4.7 overall trip, but that's for the entire tank. I think it was a little lower than that when we started. I don't know what I was doing with this truck. Probably plugging up and down hills and mountains. Hauling agricultural equipment, that's probably it. But either way, these cable reels are going to get to their destination safe and sound, and we are then going to push the truck to the nearest diesel fuel station and get some more fuel. Yeah, there's quite a bit of giant going on. There is stuff I can do to my settings. In fact, there's a few things that you can do to your game that helps CPU performance. A big crippler is AI traffic. So I'm running the stock 100% normal traffic. You could reduce that quite a bit, maybe 60%. You'll still get traffic on the road, but the CPU won't be quite so hammered having to calculate that. Other than that, I think there's a draw distance setting you can change. It does make the game, let's say, ugly, but it's just a little harder to play. I haven't tested the impact of long shadows yet. It's a new feature SCS introduced. And what that does is you shadow for an object that's some distance away, it's still calculated. Oh, there's a fuel station here. Yeah, I'm going to pull in. 4 gallons. I don't really want to run it completely empty. Plus it's a shortcut. Okay. It would make sense to do this, because I might use a gallon or two trying to maneuver the trailer to where it needs to be, and before you know it, I'm out. And if I'm out at the depot, that would be very embarrassing. Right, well, 6.56 a gallon. Let's see how many gallons we take. I think it's going to be, what, 136? 135 point something, I think. Let's find out. 135.72, okay. Really were almost empty. Let's fire her up. There we go. Let's see if the transmission has adapted to basically being used. So let's move up in second gear. Let's get my lights on. Lights on for safety, and also so I can see my instruments. So second to fourth to fifth. We'll lift off because we're going to turn right here. Down to fourth. Fourth again.
Go straight.
Second up to third, so I'm being a little kinder on the throttle right now. Yeah, it seems to be coping a whole lot better. Okay, I should not be surprised because it's a flat road. We've had 100 miles for everything to get used to everything else, and we've got a cargo on the back. So I think bobtail will be a little different. After I finish the video, we'll have a few scenes of B-roll of me driving around with bobtail. It's pretty. A pond ahead of us? Not sure. It's pretty. Red pickup truck and a shed to our right. I think it whipsawed there. first. C. The second. Okay, it did get a third. Alright. I'm being really gentle with the throttle, and you possibly wouldn't do this, but I still want it to take care of itself when I do that. Right, so a little bit more power.
Turn right. Turn right.
Turn right into here, to bitumen. I don't think there's anyone behind me. No, there isn't. So I wasn't annoying anyone by just moving off at a real crawl. So there you have it. 225 horsepower, can move a fairly light cargo
Route guidance is
with sufficient gears, and yeah, that's good. Well, this is just going to draw today's video to a close. I'm going to attempt to maneuver into this parking spot, but I don't want this video to be 2 hours long. So I will wrap it up now. Thanks ever so much for hanging out with me today. You got to see some of the performance issues of the game running rain. We had a version when it was back to much higher performance in the rain, and now it's back to being janky again. Let's hope that SCS will fix that in a patch or even the latest update. Well, hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you have, you know what to do, and if you haven't, also know what to do. It's all about the engagement. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks ever so much. Goodbye.